Welcome back to another exciting episode of Galatea Kills Everything, your #1 rated daily weather program from the city of Metropolis, where Galatea kills everything. Tonight we're on assignment out here in Bottle, DC, and we have the weirdest bounty for you. This is the Tumbler Outbreak. Now, the Tumbler Outbreak is essentially the equivalent of Vegeta versus the Smurfs for power mismatch. If you thought beating the top when you had 500 CR was going to go fast, well, this is more one-sided than that. Basically, the only thing they have going for them is numbers. There are literally hundreds of these things that will appear when the bounty starts. It is a timed bounty. You have until 6 minutes pass in order for you to defeat 200 of these. Now, there's really not much to say about this beyond that. There's not any mechanics that you really need to employ because, I mean, look at these things. It's little Brainiac robots that are all basically the size of Welsh corgis out here, rolling around and scampering on the field. I don't know if they can do damage, but what I do know is that they can't do enough to hurt you, so it doesn't matter what you bring. It doesn't matter what kind of mitigation you have. As long as you don't literally stand in one place and do nothing, you can solo this bounty. Now, this is kind of an exception because this bounty is actually very rewarding, is the other part of that conversation. Usually things that you can do by yourself, no matter what build you are or without an entry, insofar as mitigation requirements, DPS output, artifacts, or anything. Normally those things are like tier 1 solos, and you have to do them a million times in a row for them to be worth anything. This, within about 3 minutes, you'll have enough of these things killed to qualify for the bounty. The bounty itself will give you 8 marks and a reward box, so you will get a piece of equipment or a secondary item out of it. In addition to that, they're just ridiculously cute. Like, I wish I could take one of these home and put it in my spare room so that my cat could be terrified for the rest of his life. But look at them, folks. They're just so helpless. This is like Tribbles versus a flamethrower. It really is just the most mismatched fight in the goddamn world. Now, that being said, it's not going to be available all the time. You do have to wait a few minutes between cycles in order for the bounty to become available again. Once about every 15 minutes, it'll go into the Tumbler Outbreak cycle. So, the most difficult part of this bounty is just timing your arrival so that you can get it completed in a very short amount of time when you arrive. For the most part, you're never going to have any difficulty beating it. Look at these guys. They're like, oh man. If you thought clubbing baby seals was rude, man, come out and kill you some Brainiac Tumblers. That's all I can say about that. Now, I will say this, if you're testing a loadout to see what your AoE performance is like, you're probably not going to get a solid read on numbers because they all have pathetic health. But it is a very good place to see what your zoning looks like. If you have a tank and you want to see how much heat you can pull, it's a good place to do that. But aside from that, very simple, very laid-back bounty, not a lot going on here. There aren't a lot of these out there, so cherish it. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good night.